Alright, so today we are picking up a couple Chevys. I just went to the dealership, picked up the keys, and then had to come to this holding lot a couple miles away. So we're going to get these loaded up. They are going to a little town in Pennsylvania. Definitely doesn't pay as good as the load for the day in my last video, but it's, pays more than I'd make sitting on the couch not doing anything. So it's not horrible, but I've definitely had better paying loads. So I'll show you what these cars are. We'll get these loaded up and get on the way. The plus side is I can drive around this lot and beep and look for them. Okay. They're both right next to each other. I'm just going to nose up into this little corner here. We'll load them right here. And then I'll just back out. I just set my parking brake for everybody that always tells me I need to set the brake when I load them. There's that one. And there's that one. Now, I generally want the heavier vehicle on the rear. Both going to the same place, so it really doesn't matter. Holy cow, look at that dent. I don't know if the camera really captures that, but that's crazy. So I normally put the heavier one on the rear, but these are so close that I don't really think it matters. Which one do you think is heavier? Equinox or a Blazer? Well, I don't know, but I'm gonna put the Equinox on first. Blazer has a little bit better ground clearance. So why that matters is once there's a vehicle already on the trailer on the front, it's going to push the front down, which is going to lift the back up, which is going to require more ground clearance. Honestly, they both probably be fine, but the Blazer has a little bit more, so let's go with that. Now I'm just going to pull them both out, and then I'll do my pickup inspections. Alright, well, change of plans. My plan was to come and pick these up, take them down to where they have to go in Pennsylvania, and then come back up to Buffalo, pick up a van, take it to Rochester. Well, I was already going to have to postpone the van to pick up tomorrow and make a separate trip for it, which would not be very cost effective because I wasn't going to be there by the time the place closed. Well, now I can't get this dealership that bought these cars to answer the phone to find out if I can deliver them after hours. And I'm going to be there probably about 10 minutes after they close. Rather than go anyways and take a chance that I'm going to end up stuck there overnight, I went back and looked, and I actually originally, when I booked these, I usually give myself some leeway, and I put them in for pickup today and delivery tomorrow. So the plan is now to go home and I'll take them in the morning. So this is turning into a 2-day video. I don't really love that idea because I'm kind of cutting into money tomorrow, and that pretty much means I didn't make any money today if all I did was come up here and pick them up. And doing it this way is costing me some time and costing me quite a few free miles that I'm not going to get paid for. So it's not ideal, but I'm not going to take a chance of having to stay down there overnight tonight. I do overnight trips, but they have to pay pretty well. Yeah, I'm a family man just as much as a company owner. So for me, they have to pay pretty well. If I'm going to go overnight, I have to be around at least $800 a day. And like I said before, this load isn't really paying that great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if there's anything close to home, maybe at the closest auction or something, that I could pick up and just stage for a couple days. Maybe I could go home, get these off the trailer, go grab something, drop it at my place, and then load these back up, take them in the morning. That would be perfect. So I can capitalize on the day. If not, I got to find something else to do today. So we'll see. I'm going to drive back towards home. It's a couple hours from Buffalo. So I've got time to think about it.
Oh, no. It's yeah, where is Maggie? So no.
Alright, so we're here. I didn't record any time-lapse footage on the way here, but this nice guy just came out and said, put them anywhere you want, and then told me how to get out of here. That doesn't happen too often, that you pull in and somebody runs out to tell you what you can do. So I'm going to get these things unloaded, and when I get back in the truck, I'll fill you in on the rest of the day. I didn't put these cars on very straight as far as, being even. Like one was over towards the edge and the other one was right in the middle. Alright, so these two delivered. Now we're in a little town called Clarion, Pennsylvania. Now we're going to drive empty all the way back up to Buffalo. And originally I was just picking up one up there. It was a van. But I just booked a little Volkswagen SUV that also goes from Buffalo to Rochester. So now we're going to drive empty about 3 hours all the way back up to Buffalo. I originally just had the one van booked going up there, but I just booked another one, so it's only a couple $100, but going that way anyway. And I think it's $200 to go like 100 miles, so not bad. So I'll see you in Buffalo. Well, we're in Buffalo. I already went in and got the keys for both of these vehicles. Came out and I got the Volkswagen. I'm in it right now. So rather than watch me drive it up from outside, I'm just going to drive this one up. And you can watch me drive up the van. This place, the guy that handles these wasn't here much longer. So I had to hurry up and go in and get the keys. And got that one up there, as you can see, with some boards. Now let's go get this van. All right, new day, new cars. That last video would have been pretty short, just doing those vehicles for that one day, so that would have been pretty boring. So let's throw some work from today into the same video. Picking this up, it's not going very far. It's going like 50 miles. Only pay is like, no, it's going more than 50 miles. But it pays pretty shitty, actually. It pays pretty bad. It's like 110 bucks. Going from Peña, New York to Hamburger, New York, over by Buffalo. The only reason that I'm taking it is because I'm going that way anyways. So, get my inspection done, and then we'll get it loaded up. Sorry, I had to mute that part. I forgot to turn the radio down. I don't want to get copyrighted. I'm gonna have to see how this looks because it's all right. I mean, I'm squatting a little bit, but we don't have too far to go before we're gonna put a pickup truck on the back. It's gonna be a pretty heavy load. Actually, I don't think I've ever showed you guys how I actually do this up close. So let's see. I can get you right there. So I don't like any twists in the straps. So make sure it's flat. Throw that up there. Try and center it in the tire as much as I can. Bring this down, get it as close to the tire as I can. Same on this side. Sometimes these crossbar supports get in the way of where I want to go. So I end up having to go way back here instead of way up there like I want to. Because this part is so wide, I can't get it in there. See? I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh, and now I got it. It's going to be a pain to take out, but you guys must be my good luck charm because I couldn't get it in there until I brought the camera over. And then, like I mentioned before, you want to get some slack. You don't want to just pull that tight and then start ratcheting. You want some slack in it first. And then you start ratcheting. That way you end up with a couple wraps because these threads locking together is what actually keeps it tight. So that's that. I'm gonna strap down the other side and we'll hit the road and go get the other one. All right, so it's pretty windy out here. But we've made it to Wellsville, New York, picking up this Silverado. Or document that crazy crack in the windshield. And I almost just said dented hood. Oh, I guess there is a little dent right here. But I was looking at the camera. It looked like a dent, but it was actually the design of the hood. A little scratch there. Hey, I came from Buffalo. I was just there yesterday. Or the day before. That was the day that I picked up those two cars and had to take them the next morning. Alright, I'm going to get this thing loaded up and we will be heading towards Amherst, New York, which is Buffalo area. Four-wheel drive. I always say if it has four-wheel drive, just use it. Wow, those running boards just cleared. So I always say if it has four-wheel drive, use it. And that time I didn't, but that's a perfect example of why. Alright, I gotta see how close I am to that Jeep. You guys can see it, but I can't see it. Not gonna work too well. I got maybe 2 inches of room there. Oh boy. Means I gotta unstrap the Jeep, move it forward just a couple inches, and then strap it down again. It's just kind of a heavy SUV, so I didn't want to put it too far forward with nothing on the back when I loaded it. I think I'm going to come up as far as I can. That'll work for that one. Before I put my gloves on, strap that one down. Let's get this one moved forward. I just wanted it forward enough to make it easy to hook the straps in the back. And you've already seen me strap this thing down once. You don't really want to see me strap the same vehicle down again, do you? Okay. So I just had a little mess up, and I should have turned the camera back on, but I didn't want you guys all to think I was a dummy. And then I realized there's people on YouTube making millions off of being idiots. So why do I care if everybody thinks I'm a dummy? So what I did, remember when we loaded this thing and I was showing you how I hooked the strap? I ended up having to get it under the tire, and it was kind of hard to fit under there, but I managed to get under there, and I knew it was going to be hard to take out. Well, when I moved this a few minutes ago, I couldn't get it out. So I thought, well, when I pull the car forward, it'll pull it forward enough to get it off of that hook. Well, I got it pulled forward. I strapped on the front on the other side. I strapped on this one. And then I came to do this one, and I was parked on top of the hook. I didn't pull forward enough. So I just had to unhook the straps, move it forward a little bit, get this out, and then get back in it and put it back where I had it. Too bad I was too worried about looking stupid to turn the camera on so you could see all that. Might as well, because I just told you. So now you know I'm a dummy. So somebody needs to tell the YouTube algorithm that I'm acting like an idiot on camera so that I can make millions of dollars. Alright, I'm going to strap these two last wheels down. I'm going to grab a flag and throw on the back of this. We'll be hitting the road going towards Buffalo. I don't know which one is going to come off first because that Jeep goes to Amherst but then I have a pickup in Amherst. So I have to see if that one that I'm picking up in Amherst is a pickup truck. Because if it is, then I can't do that first because I can't fit 2 pickup trucks. So if I still have this one and then have to pick up the other one, that won't work. So if that's the case, we might have to drive past there, deliver this one, and then backtrack a little bit. Only because it doesn't make any sense to go to Amherst twice. Cool, let's hit the road. Made it to Hamburg, New York. I've got to take them both off, deliver this Jeep, and then put the truck back on because the truck goes to Amherst. And in Amherst, we are delivering one, picking up one. 2 different places though. So let's get these unloaded, get that one thrown back on, and get this one delivered. All right, so we got the Jeep delivered. Now, the dealership for the Chevy truck delivery in Amherst is 23 miles away. GPS says about a half hour. I know I'm picking up at a dealership in Amherst as well. I just don't know if, I'm going to be backtracking, but considering they're in the same town, I'm not even going to bother having to take this off, load one, then put this back on just to drive 5 miles and deliver it. I'll just go deliver this one. Then if I have to backtrack 5 miles to pick up, that's fine. In the sake of time, it'll actually take a lot less time doing it that way. So. When I'm about to use these again right away, I don't usually roll them up. Just because I don't know, I think it's a waste of time, but it does look a lot more professional if you get out and all your straps are rolled up neat, rather than pull them all out in a wad and they're all tangled up. I think that looks trashy in front of people, but I also wanted to ask anyone that hauls vehicles for a Certus and uses the Vinlocity app, does it constantly give you problems when you don't have like full bars of service? Even if I only have like 3 bars, half the time it'll say connection lost, and after every picture I have to close the app and then reopen it. You have to have like perfect service for that app to work. So a lot of times it takes me like double the time that it normally would just because of that app. There's really no way around it. I do have a hotspot in my truck, but I mean it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to have the same service as I do on my phone. You guys hear me say a lot that a lot of these dealerships have storage lots where you pick up the keys at the dealer and then you drive to the storage lot to load the car. They're usually fairly close. In Buffalo, or like Orchard Park area, it's on California Road, a place called Wings, and it's right behind the Buffalo Bills Stadium. Well, this one, I just got to Northtown Mazda in Amherst, and the storage lot is 5.5 miles away. I don't think I've ever seen one that it's that far away. So, got the key. Now we gotta drive to Gettsville to pick up the car. How lucky is that? I pull up right here and get out and start hitting the button, and it's right behind me. So I'm gonna go ahead and just back up towards it so I get a little bit more of a decline on the trailer. I wanted to leave myself enough room to be able to pull it out a little bit to do an inspection. The dealership that's going to, I did call ahead and find out that I can deliver after hours. They have a drop box, so we'll get that one delivered tonight. It is hot in here and it stinks. Unfortunately, even though this one comes off first, I've got to put it on the front because the other one is a 3500 truck. Not going to try and put that on the front. I know what you're thinking. Hey, that's not a 3500. And it is not. So, the 3500 that I was supposed to get didn't work out. So I was supposed to pick up a Chevy 3500 going to Binghamton. And they told me it was residential. So I went to, I don't know if you can hear me with this wind, but I went to call ahead to give the customer a heads up and found out it was actually at an auction. The auction closed at 4:30. It was about 4:45 by the time I called them. So I had to cancel that one. Bear with me here. This thing is brand new, so I'm trying to be super careful. It's got 21 miles on it. Alright, I used to think I was a good multitasker. But obviously I can't work and talk at the same time. And hold my train of thought. So, I was supposed to get a 3500 Chevy. Turns out it was at an auction that closed at 4:30. I didn't know that. Otherwise I would have rearranged things to get there sooner. So I canceled that one. And I was all upset because that was, out of all the stuff today, that was the one thing that paid the most. So I jumped on real fast to try and find another one, and I found this one. Now, keep in mind that other truck was going to go to Binghamton. Well, I have to go to Syracuse tomorrow for something else, that one of my customers called me and wants me to pick up something that's going to set up some work for next week. So I have to go to Syracuse anyways tomorrow. So I was going to have to go to Binghamton and then Syracuse. The Binghamton one paid $370. Well, when that one didn't work out, I started looking and I found this one going to Fayetteville, which is about 20 minutes from Syracuse, paying $350. So it's only $20 less, but now I don't have to drive all the way to Binghamton before I go to Syracuse. So this actually works out good. You know, everything happens for a reason. I'm really glad that that one didn't work out. Not to mention that was a 3500. They called it a work truck, so I don't know if it had maybe a toolbox body on it or what, but this is just an F-150. The downside is I hate hauling brand new vehicles. They are so picky when you deliver them. So I go around it and I take video of every inch of the car. Just because they're so picky. So it works out. So now I'm gonna get these loaded, get this one loaded, and then kind of take the long way home rather than, you know, the way I would normally go. I have to go down to Bradford, PA first. So it can be on the way depending on which way you go. It's just a little bit longer way. So I'm still going to go to Bradford, PA, deliver that one, and then put this one back on. And then tomorrow I deliver this one in Syracuse, and I have, well, in Fayetteville. And I have a pickup at Copart in Central Square, just north of Syracuse. It's super windy here. I'm super paranoid that the wind's going to blow that tripod over and smash my phone on the ground. Or, I mean, my super high-end expensive camera. All right, got a flag on it, all strapped down. Let's get out of here. Well, we made it to Bradford, Pennsylvania. We're gonna take them both off, deliver this Escape, and then load the pickup truck back on. It's turning out to be a pretty long day. But tomorrow's going to be an easy day. Going to run up to Syracuse and then home. Have a half a day tomorrow. And I'm hoping that when I get back from Syracuse, I can get some stuff done around the house. Been doing kind of a garage clean out. I'd like to get that finished. But I also really need to seal my driveway before it gets too cold to do it. So hopefully, I can get that done tomorrow. I don't know how this strap ended up so wonky. There we go. I don't know why this strap is so stiff. It's like, I don't understand. Parts of it aren't, but most of it is. These straps I've actually had since I started car hauling, and I don't even know how old they are. They came with the first trailer that I bought was a 2-car wedge, and I bought it used, and I'd already had straps. Maybe someday I can get sponsored by the company, one of these companies that makes car hauler straps. That'd be pretty cool. I gotta get more of you guys to like the videos that you're watching and watch the whole thing before I can think about getting a sponsor. So maybe you could help me out here. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. That helps this video. If you subscribe on this video, give it a like, and watch as much of me as you can stand. In case you can't tell, I feel like I'm slowing down. It's been a long day. Oh, why am I rolling these ones? See? I gotta reload this thing. Why am I rolling these straps back up? Gonna leave that like that for a minute so I can get all the way around it to do my inspection. So I'm gonna do my inspection and then we'll load that one back up. When I had my wedge trailer, my second wedge trailer, so my first one was a 2-car, my second wedge was a 50-foot 3-car. And I kind of stopped hauling new vehicles, partly because I bought a $650 tail light for a new vehicle for something I didn't do. But that's besides the point. for new vehicles, you have to use these 3-point over the tire straps. And the expanded metal on my 3-car wedge was really thin, so I really couldn't use these. Once in a while, I did. I'd say the whole time I had that trailer, I might have done it twice. But I really didn't like it. It made me very uncomfortable because I don't think that that thin expanded metal is strong enough to hold anything. So I would use the lasso straps around the tire, come around like this, come down here, and then hook to a lip down here. But if you have a vehicle that won't go and park and doesn't have a parking brake, those straps aren't really going to hold it too well. All right, that's it. Let's go home. All right. Well, we are here. And I forget the name of this town. It's outside of Syracuse. For some reason, it took me like 2.5 hours to get here, and it was a 2-hour drive. I don't really understand that, but made it here. I should still make it to my Copart appointment on time. But now I have another one to pick up. And unfortunately, this other one is a little tiny car. It's a Honda Accord. If you've been around for a while watching my videos, you'll know a little car like that takes me a while. With all my extra ramps and boards and all that. Brand new truck, 20 miles on it, making some kind of rattling noise under the hood. I said I hate doing new vehicles because they go over them with a fine-tooth comb. So I took a full video and pictures and everything of this one before when I picked it up. And the guy that came out and looked at it was actually pretty cool. I guess that vehicle came from a body shop because it was damaged, brand new. So they wouldn't take it. So I had to go to a body shop, get fixed, and then come back. And he just walked a quick lap around it and called it good. All right, gonna head to a pickup now. Pick up that Honda Accord. Well, eventful day. I got pulled over for not stopping for a guy on a bike at a crosswalk. By the time I saw him, I was coming around a corner and the crosswalk was right after the corner. By the time I saw him, it was like, I would have had to slam on my brakes and there was a car behind me. I didn't want him to rear end my trailer. So I felt really bad. But, as soon as I did that and I saw the cop sitting there, I figured he was going to come pull me over. And sure enough, he did. So we'll see what comes of this. He gave me a warning. He said, just a warning, drive safe. Stop for the guy at the crosswalk. As soon as, I kind of made eye contact with that dude on the bike at the crosswalk. And sorry, he's probably like cussing me out, but in a little town, normally if somebody's standing at a crosswalk or on a bike, I stop, you know. It just, coming around that corner, it was probably maybe 50 feet after coming around the corner. It's a pretty stupid setup, but it worked out. I didn't get a ticket, but I never record the police when they stop me. I really should start. Not to, you know, not to be a jerk, but just because it made good content. But all right, well, that would be the big event for the day. Hopefully something more exciting happens, but not bad. I guess we're gonna go pick up this Honda Accord first and then go to Copart. Hopefully it doesn't make me late for my Copart appointment. We'll see. Well, I'm at Copart waiting on my appointment that I had to reschedule. I did not film loading this Honda Accord because I was in a crazy hurry. So I got to the place that it was supposed to be in Bridgeport, and they said, oh, that's not here. That's actually at our other lot, which is called Candy Cars in Syracuse. So I was pissed. I almost canceled it because I'm on such a tight schedule, but it's for next week. It pays $750. So I really couldn't not do it. So I drove to that other place. It was about a 20-minute drive. And then the person was on lunch break that could give me the keys. So I sat there for about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes and waited for him. Then he got there. He tells me the car's out back. So it's a huge place. So I go out back, hitting the button, not finding it. And then ended up walking all the way back out front and found it right next to the front door, the opposite side that I walked out. I walked out the door and took a right, and it was around the corner to the left. So I had to use my extra ramps to load it because it was low. Got that loaded as quick as I could, strapped it down, and came to Copart. Now I'm at Copart waiting on this Ford Edge. This one is actually for my customer in North Carolina. He called me the other night and asked me if I could pick it up. He said, no rush to get it to me. I just need it out of Copart because of the storage. So I was going to wait a few days and see, you know, if I could build a load around it. And then this other one popped up, this Accord, paying, I think ACV was asking $660 is what they wanted. So I put in an offer for $750. I figured I'll put in the offer. If they take it, I'll go Monday. If they don't, I'll unload this Edge in my yard and do some local work until loads pop up, you know, going there. So it worked out. So now I'm gonna wait on Copart to bring this car out with a forklift, and then I will get this loaded up. If the operator doesn't mind, I'll record him loading it. I'm going to hold the camera, but also got to guide this guy on. Cool, that worked out perfect. This guy's pretty good. Oh, there are 2 forklift operators out here. I thought there was only one. All right, got it loaded. I hate when it's got all this crash wrap on it because through the wind that is not going to stay. So I'm going to get strapped down and then we got to move. I'm in a hurry today. I got stuff to do. These delays that I've been going through today only seem to happen when you're in a hurry and got things to do. So I mentioned before that I'd like to get my driveway sealed. I've never sealed a driveway, so I don't really know. I noticed that everybody on my street that does it they do it in the morning. So doing it in like the afternoon or evening, I don't know if I should do that. I guess since my driveway is pretty crappy and it's never been sealed, anything is better than nothing, but I don't know. But I also have to go, I don't know if it'll be next video or how long it'll take me to edit it, but this weekend I've got some work to do that you'll see. We've got an excavator coming. We got some work to do with an excavator this weekend. So I've still got to go get ready for that. So needless to say, I'm awfully busy. I had them put it up far enough so I don't need to flag it because that's such a light car on the front and it's still behind the axle, so. I still have to run into Copart. I still have to run into Copart and get the title though. Yeah, I shouldn't complain about being too busy. I just don't understand how some people that, you know, that just kind of sit and watch TV and have extra time to do stuff. I don't understand. There's just so much to do, so little hours in the day. Alright, cool. Check all these straps. I'll run in and get the title. And we gotta go. Well, I just had to pull over and jump out. Like I said, it doesn't stay. So I don't want that landing on somebody's windshield and blinding them. So, not much I can really do about it other than rip it off. So, actually I'm gonna try and just stuff it down in the door if the door will open. If not, I'm just gonna rip it off. So, we'll see. Nope, the door, it's all taped. There's a piece of tape going over the whole thing. So that piece of tape might hold it. Let me get back up here. I don't want that piece of glass landing on anybody. Push this tape down. I don't think that's gonna come off. Check the other side. Well, I gotta set you down. Alright, so this side I was able to open the door a little and stuff it down in there. Yeah, I'll have to tarp it for the weekend so it doesn't get super wet if it rains. But, alright, back on the road. Alright guys, well I made it home, so that's going to wrap up this one. These cars are going to sit on the trailer until Monday, and on Monday, we'll be taking them south. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for bearing with my bad camera skills. Stay tuned for the next one. Stay safe.